Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next session of VRWS Talk. Today, I'm extremely excited to welcome Antonio Bortolotti from the Vacation Rental World Summit live with us from Italy. Antonio, it's great to have you on our third edition of VRWS Talks. It's an absolute honor to have you on our show talking about Vacation Rental World Summit this year, which is going to be a little bit different than what we experienced last year in Como. But I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic show. First of all, where are you and what are you up to right now?
Well, I'm at home on Lake Maggiore in Italy, and I'm up to planning and organizing the summit. So first and foremost, thank you for having me there, Simon. It's a pleasure to talk to you as always, and it's a pleasure to have you on board this big venture, which is going to be great, I think.
Wonderful. Well, first of all, I'm glad you're in one of the beautiful spaces in the world. And secondly, that you're healthy and not look too distressed. And I hope Christina as well. And not as stressed as you would be if it's going to be a physical event. Of course, we are extremely disappointed that this is not going to happen at this amazing place in Annecy, which we were all very, very much looking forward to, at this fabulous hotel, going away from an opera into an incredible, beautiful hotel, very well located. Does not mean we're going to have it there another time when it's more safer to travel again. But just run the audience through your decision-making process and what got you to the point to make this decision, and what can the audience expect?
Yeah, that's fairly easy because if you think about the uncertainties, the travel restrictions, the fear of contagion, the quarantine, a rebound in the virus, as people say, that can come now in October, limitations, and even just think physically, we're all being in a place wearing masks for 2 days where we can't really talk that nicely to each other, do the networking part. So if you think about this, the in-person part of it would be so limited, even in terms of attendance, because we would have to limit the space. We couldn't have 500 or 600 attendees. So, you think about all these things and it's pretty straightforward and easy to understand why you're going online. So that is the reason why we've done that. And
I hope everybody remained as loyal as they ever were before, also in regards to the sponsorship. I mean, what you have put on in Como the last few years was absolutely incredible. But at the same time, you basically go back to the roots. So, what does that mean, Antonio?
Yeah, right. It's exactly because we started 7 years ago online. For the first 2 editions, the original plan was that if we were going to be successful, we were going to take the 3rd edition in person. And the first 2 editions, we brought together 15,000 people from 49 countries. So we were a little successful. And it was 2 full days. Actually, the first edition was 3 days, a weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 8 hours a day with like 15,000 people glued to the screen. So that's said, okay, now we've gone a little forward. And now with COVID, for us, it was a lot easier saying, let's go back to the roots, because even if the world is changed in 7 years now, so an online event 7 years ago was pretty much ahead of its time.
I just wanted to say you were already ahead of your time, Antonio. So that's absolutely incredible. And therefore you're going to put on a great show. So tell us more about it.
Yeah, it's going to be different from VRWS has always been different from all other events for 2 reasons mainly. The first one is that it's single track. As you know, it's probably, if not the only one of a few single track events. And that was done on purpose because we wanted everyone not to lose the possibility, because they were checking several sessions at the same time. So single track is keeping everyone there, and it's really a learning experience. And the quality, therefore, we have there must be really, really selected to be top-notch and top-notch quality content that is there. And it's considered that in our space from many, many people. And the second thing is the networking part, which, as you know, is quite unrivaled at the event because of the family feeling, the really familiar feeling. Even though it's getting bigger and bigger every year, it's just sort of like family. So whoever gets there year after year comes back. Of course, this year, we won't be able to to do the second part, the latter part, this part here. Therefore, we'll focus on the first part, and we'll do the networking in a different way, which is, you know, digital. So it will be different, but as we know, it will deliver great quality content. It will make everything available in case you miss a session, or you can make it to attend from home over the weekend. And it will allow for live interaction from home with each speaker and each session through Q&A at the end of each session. So virtually everyone can ask their number one question and get a chance to have it answered in real time by the speakers, as if it was there in person.
Wow, that sounds absolutely incredible. And I have to be honest, you know, I would prefer to actually stand on the stage of an opera again. Instead of doing it by video. But I think it's good that we had a bit of a break as well. I think, you know, during COVID, a lot of people were just webinared out, and I think now it's good that we're had this break, and everybody's now sort of getting ready again to get new inputs and content. You know, a lot of people went back to being super busy in managing their season, and I would say a lot of companies that attend VRWS are actually the ones who are now benefiting as well from domestic travel and high demand in domestic markets. So a lot of them have been very busy. We saw that at AJL too. It was hard to reach our customers for the last 6 weeks because they were super busy with actually managing their reservations, which obviously is outstanding. So I think it's going to be great for them to sort of come back and get the latest and the greatest from the industry. And you mentioned the content. Can you show us some more light on what you have in the box for us, what the content is concerned?
Yeah, sure. The summit will be structured like a regular event. So as I said, it's going to be single track sessions paired with virtual meeting rooms open all day long during the weekend. What that means is that we start at 2 p.m. Italian time or 8 a.m. New York time on Saturday, October 10, and Sunday as well for 2 days. And we all go session by session, taking notes, asking questions, and interacting with both the speakers and with each other. We'll have 2 breaks in the afternoon where partner companies like Booking.com, Vrbo, Rentals United, Pricelab, Octorate, Traumferienwohnungen will be there too, and many more. Will actually will share some insights into what they've been doing for the industry and what new things are they going to release and show. As I said, each session will last 45 minutes, like in the real summit. So each session is 45 minutes. The first 30 minutes is pure content by the speakers, and then we leave a 10-15 minute part at the end for the Q&A. But the cool thing is that attendees will be able to post their question live during the session with a Slido, is a tool that we used as well last year for those that were at the summit, and it's a pretty interactive one. So you can type in your question, you can vote the question from home, and the questions with most votes are the ones that get answered first, because that means that basically if you're voting a question, it means that's a question that's most interesting for the major part of the audience. So it's needless to say that that's the one that most people would like to know the answer. And so with that system, we're able to sort of like filter the most important question in the 10-15 minutes left of each session to answer. So I think that's going to be a pretty cool thing. And in terms of content, if you ask me what kind of content are we going to cover, we'll cover a variety of key issues and information from the latest industry data and trends, both in Europe and in North America. With Pierre Besseril, that you know very well from Transparent, and Tom Catton from AirDNA. Then we'll talk about the future of hospitality as seen from the eyes and the experience of Matt Landau. So we'll go, from the property manager's side to the host side. Then we'll go to a thorough analysis of the obstacles that property managers and hosts are soon to face, and what they can do about them, with an analysis of over 1,000 several questions posed to over 1,000 property managers in the world. This is more of a technical one. It's going to approach the PMS side, the PMS structure, so the software, the tools we use to try to make everyone understand what the obstacle or the bottlenecks are at certain stages of the evolution of our business, and how to tackle those. And then what else? We move into the remaining sessions until 8 p.m. in the evening, and we'll have, again, the VR Tech finals. Like every year, for those that don't know, the VR Tech is that competition run by Rentals United, by Vanessa de Souza Lage, that runs this beautiful contest where startups show how they can innovate the industry. And basically on the stage of the summit, there are the 3 finalists that are going to show what they do that we can all benefit from. So
I think this year's lineup is extremely impressive, and I really like how the evolution of VR Tech has happened. And Vanessa has done an amazing job, and the lineup is really strong. You know, when you think, you know, we sort of at the end of innovation circle, and how can we reinvent the world? But I was still very impressed on the lineup of these companies and what's coming there. So that's something that extremely excites me. So you have a lot of stuff in your box, and we're really looking forward to participate. I guess we're now just ramping up marketing activities, and obviously AJL is a proud partner to support these initiatives as well. And I'm sure you still have some available sponsorship packages as well, in case somebody's interested in sponsoring the event.
Yeah, we do. And the cool thing about this year is the fact that we do have the virtual meeting rooms are a chance, basically like a virtual booth. So the partner company, I like to call them partner companies more than sponsor companies, because there's a little nuance in the word that makes
absolutely
a little me. And so the partner companies there, as they marry the concept of the summit, which is not a salesy approach, but is an approach of sharing and giving valuable content that's really tangible and useful for the audience. They can prepare what I suggest normally is like a 5-10 minute mini session. So as I said in the beginning, it's single track the event, but we do have the breaks, and the virtual meeting rooms run all day long. So they're basically like booths. They're open all day long. Okay? But during the breaks, we do have these 10-minute mini sessions where the companies can share something they're doing that's pretty interesting, and the audience can pick up the room they want to look at. So they can check these mini sessions, and because it's 10 minutes, they can check more than one. And after that, they can engage directly in the virtual meeting room with the partner companies. So it's a great way for partner companies to get a return for the effort that they're putting into this. The difference with other online events is the fact that the companies at VRWS should really, they're virtual booths, but it's not like a booth where you sit and wait for people to knock on your door, because it won't be that successful. I mean, we're all focused into the content and the agenda. So you need, as a company, to lure people in with something interesting. And that's why I'm asking all companies to prepare these mini sessions. In the end, it's going to be content, top quality content for everyone.
Wow, that's going to be incredible. And it would be a lie to say that we at AJL are not looking forward to participate in this conference as well. And we're super happy that we also this year we can contribute to your content and hopefully help you making this a rememberable event. And one thing that just resonated to me while you're talking to us here as well, Antonio, not once you've mentioned the word COVID-19, and I think that's amazing and impresses me. It impresses me a great deal. And And maybe we can make a bet here that at VRWS this year in 2020, we're not going to talk about COVID-19. If we manage to do that, it will be incredible.
I'll probably need to tweak and change a little bit of the agenda, of the wording in the agenda of the event. But you're definitely right, because if you look at the website, the theme this year is a new perspective. And if you've come to the website, whoever comes to the website, they'll see there's a pretty impressive first view of, I'm not going to say what it is. You come to vacationaroundworldsummit.com and check it yourself.
You're always good in keeping your surprises to the very end, Antonio.
Yeah. It's sort of like, I don't want to compare, myself to Steve Jobs, but you remember he used to walk off the stage saying, "Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to tell you," and that's where he introduced the iPhone, So it's not that big of a deal, but anyway, the theme is a new perspective, and it really is a new perspective, because over these last few months, we've all been confronted with several challenges and questions. We've all had to redesign our business, find new ways, adapt, adjust. So the next few months coming in are gonna be pretty exciting, if I can say the word, because they're gonna force all of us to really be adaptable and adjustable to what's coming. So you said it right. I didn't mention the word, and I'm not going to mention it here again, what you said earlier, but I trust it's going to be a pretty nice one. And again, the timing is also perfect, because October, you're right, we've seen now, and I'm happy to say, I'm a property manager and host as well, that the summer has brought lots of business for lots of us again. Unfortunately, the ones in the cities, in urban destinations, are still suffering, but those in non-urban destinations have seen a pretty steep peak in travel and in domestic travel or drive to market. So we filled up many of our properties, which gives us good hope for the next season as well. We'll need to see what happens with the rebound or not. We'll need to see how long it's going to take till we have a vaccine that's probably going to calm things down and feel people again. I trust it's not going to take too long, and next year we're going to all go back to Annecy, to the beautiful palace, so to party day and night.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, if I can ask you a question now.
Sure.
You are going to be as well part of the summit again this year. And let me ask you, what kind of contribution will you give in terms of content? Because we've been talking about this, but still you haven't really released, and this is another surprise, another primer for all the audience listening now. What will you talk about?
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Antonio. And we're very excited. So this year, we're not going to talk with the elephants in the room, right? We did that last year. And Tobias is unfortunately no longer with us and within the vacation rental industry. So we had to think of something else. And no, of course, something we launched at AJL just before COVID really hit us. And we said, we need to start focusing on profitability, not on revenue. And the reason why we said that was more driven by the amount of investments that the industry has received to scale this business. And it was all about revenue and growth, but it was not about profitability. So we've seen massive fundings in the master lease space, which unfortunately most of them have now disappeared in the meantime, which is incredible. So much capital has been destroyed on the master lease side. A lot of capital went into a company like Vacasa, who is now also in the process of downsizing and refocusing. A lot of money went into Sykes Cottages from private equity. A lot of money went into Oyo, which obviously didn't materialize either. So we said, hey, how much more money can be raised with just focusing on scale and revenue and not on profitability? And we said, this is not sustainable. So we need to start talking about profitability in the industry. And everybody knows, especially during COVID and the lockdown, we have realized that oxygen equals profitability. I've seen devastating STR operators who literally survived 2 weeks and they had no cash left. Demand dried out, Airbnb dried out, bookings dried out, business was dead. So we took advantage of this massive demand, and everybody started to build a business on the back of one supply, one demand channel like an Airbnb, and was successful with 1 unit, 20 units, 50 units, made a ton of money. Then all of a sudden the tap was off, they were dead. No sustainability, no focus on profitability, and not understanding what are my true cost drivers in the vacation rental industry. And our thesis is, guys, how we do revenue management in vacation rental is broken, because we have adopted the revenue management from the airlines and the hotels, who by nature, in terms of their assets, because they own their assets, have far higher fixed costs than variable costs. So an airline flying from A to B has 80% fixed costs, and any additional seat that is sold on that plane is incremental gross profit. In a hotel, it's exactly the same. The hotel is there, they have staff. If it's sold to 50 rooms or 60 rooms, every incremental sale of a room is incremental revenue in incremental gross profit once the fixed costs are covered. In the vacation rental, nobody has understood that. It's exactly the other way around. We're having 30% fixed costs because we don't own our assets. We manage the assets. But if each booking will bring us additional variable costs, because you need to clean it, you need to check in, you need to check out, you need to do maintenance, you need to distribute it, you need to market it. So if you have no booking, maybe you have less cost than you actually have a booking. So we have disconnected cost management from revenue management, and this is super dangerous. We have seen property managers who were literally setting prices below their cost. So that means every booking actually created a negative contribution, and this can't be right. And now with COVID, even more than ever, we need to talk about profitability so we can run a sustainable business. And this is exactly what we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about and how we're going to tackle that. And it's absolutely going to revolutionize the way we do profitability calculation in our industry.
I'm glad you decided to come on board with that topic when I asked you, because I remember a few months ago, and maybe our viewers now, I don't know if you'll put the link. A few months ago, you published an article on revenue versus profitability, which I loved. I mean, I read it all, and I couldn't be more in line with what you were saying, because it was basically because it's the way I have been doing business and managing the business. So of course you were speaking my language, but I realized that so many people didn't really realize that. And so when in the run for revenue, you lost profitability, and in such a worst case scenario or perfect storm like the one that happened over the last few months, you've got lots of business go bust just because of that, and you can't afford it. So one of the many lessons learned during this pandemic is this one that we'll be more than happy to hear at the summit, thanks to your contribution.
Thank you, Antonio, without a doubt. And we, as you can see, we're very passionate about it, and we're very excited about it, because we do believe that we're hitting a topic that is going to be addressed. Because once you understand your cost, you start realizing actually what doesn't work in your business and what works in your business, right? You're starting to create benchmarks about cleaning, about maintenance, about linen, all this stuff. How much does it cost me to hand over a key? You need to think about it. You are forced to understand and allocate your cost of every move that you do. Handing out keys is costly because you need to have people there. You need to manage it. And it's just something that has been done, and it just adds somewhere in the G&A cost, but nobody thinks about it. But you need to attribute it on a unit level. And then what our tool and our technology can do, we can determine profitability on a unit level, and we can tell you how long and how much occupancy do you need for the unit to be profitable. And this is something that we are extremely keen, energetic about, and we're looking forward to talk about this in your conference. And the white paper, thank you for mentioning that. We've published this on Pillow Talk Media, Jessica Gillingham, and we put it the way it was called you know, why revenue is vanity and profitability is the reality. So this is how we sort of summarize it. This paper was mostly written by Nico and myself on the experiences that we have built with all the work that we have done with our customers. And it's the drum we're going to beat for many months to come, that profitability is what drives also professionalism at the end of the day. And one thing we should not forget in our industry, and you are one of the best advocates with many others who are trying to professionalize this industry, you know, get the message out there, but we still have 70% of travelers who have not yet considered vacation rental. So now is the time to really lift the game, professionalize the business, make sure everybody understands the value proposition of a property manager, and get these other 70% of the customers who now want to have alternatives to possibly hotels in these challenging times. We can benefit from that. So, you know, from AJL's point of view, I only want to thank you, Antonio, and also your wife, Christina, for what you have done with the Vacation Rental World Summit. We love to go there. Now, this year we do it different, but we still have the same amount of energy to put a fantastic, great event together. I want to thank you in the name of the entire industry for all the hard work that you have done for us and with us. We love you guys. We love to come back and have a great time together. This time around, it's going to be different. But what you have told us already makes us super keen and interested to learn more about it. Get registered, make sure you get your ticket, make sure you're ready for the event. And we're looking very, very, very much forward to having a Vacation Rental World Summit 2020 with Antonio and the entire team of participation. Thank you so much, Antonio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Simon. Thank you.
It's a great pleasure. Stay well, and we'll see you in October.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.